York Athletic Club.
So it's the women's fours, the first time we've seen this event at Henley, and so delighted to have an Oz woman of the calibre of Jess Heddy alongside me in the commentary box for this event. Holland, the camera's flying over at the moment, and the very strong American crew from New York Athletic Club on the left of the pitch at the Berkshire station.
We're going to see two different styles racing down here today, the fluid Dutch crew versus these strong American ladies.
So in terms of style, I mean, you know, which was your style, Jess, as a row? Were you like more aggressive like the Americans? I think they're having some trouble on the boys there, actually. That's a little bit of not just quite disaster for the Americans, but they're going to have to correct away from it.
Yeah, I think that was trouble there, but that's always a danger. You don't want to get pulled into that bank, Martin, on the near side.
So the Dutch have taken advantage of that. That's an early lead. I wasn't expecting that for the Dutch crew. They were down yesterday and rode through to win their semi-final, and now they're up, and that's probably because the Americans just had that little tightness in the shoulders following that steering incident.
And that's going to feel very good if you're the Dutch. You're going to be looking back at the girls thinking we could just tap it away now, moving out to almost a length.
28-year-old Felice Muller from Cleveland, Ohio is the woman with the foot, the magic foot, hopefully, down the rest of the course in the American boat.
I mean, the pedigree in this American boat is unbelievable. I'd never write them off.
No, you'd never write them off. Let's talk about Felice Muller, bow in the Rio pair that finished fourth in the Olympic Games there behind Stanley and Glover. Then you've got the amazing Susanna Francia, double Olympic champion in the women's eight in Beijing and London. The 34-year-old has come out of retirement for this race. Kerry Simmons in the two-seat of that Rio 4. You raced her, Jess, and she won Olympic gold just ahead of you. She's in the two-seat, the woman from San Diego. And then Olivia Coffey from Watkins Glen, New York, in the bow seat. She was world champion in the quadruple sculls in 2015. I mean, how many gold medals have we just gone through in that resume there?
I mean, these girls really know how to race. They know how to deliver. They know how to sit on the start line and go down a course and finish in first. They won't be like sitting a length down here. This is not comfortable for them. It's not what they're used to. See what they can do through the middle of this course.
Liv Coffey looked across there. I mean, to my money, I'm going to pick the Dutch for this event because I think they didn't have that start yesterday, but they've got confidence, and you've got, you know, great talent in the boat. We're looking at the least experienced, closest to us, Elizabeth Beers in the bow, but you've got the tremendous sort of stern-free combination, the 19-year-old Caroline Florin. She was in the Hollenbecker, finished fourth in the single scull. So this four hasn't been able to train together because, you know, Caroline Florin wanted to do the Hollenbecker in the single sculls. At 19 she finished fourth, which I thought was a fantastic achievement. Then you've got Jinke Cleveling and Veronique Meister.
There's some steering here from the Americans. They're going to get warned for that, I imagine. Moving into the middle of the course. They look so silky, this Dutch crew here. Look at them, look at how loose they are, how long they're rowing. And the Dutch are famed for that style of rowing. It almost looks effortless.
It's effortless. I think it's set up really well by Veronique Meister, the 22-year-old in the stroke seat. I was having a chat with Jose Belongshot, their coach, and he says she does set a beautiful rhythm. You know, he doesn't want to pressure these four women because he thinks he's got a magical crew. He really is going to send them to the under-23s. He's going to see how their physiology is. He thinks he might take a couple, maybe three into the Dutch 8 for the World Championships, but you know, he's going to see. He doesn't want to push them too hard, and he knows he's got a fantastic combination. He knows he's got sort of 3 more years to bring them to maturity, and they've shown really just by rowing so well what they can do.
And that's the thing, they've got time. We're 3 years out now from Tokyo. If these girls can go on in the next couple of years, learn to stand on podiums, they're a very young crew. They could be a real force to be reckoned with come the next Olympic Games.
Yeah, they have really got this race done and dusted. The Americans really struggling with their steering, not just in the middle of the race, but also at the start. The Dutch will know that this is their contest. All they've got to do is keep that smooth, fluid rhythm. The Dutch know how to row. Jose Belongshot is very clear about the way he wants his women to perform, and that sort of fluid style, that effortless style, that flow forward. Not too much, really. They just release the boat quite early on, these women, don't they? do all the work on the front of the stroke.
Yeah, they're almost letting the boat just do their work at the back end. The boat's travelling the fastest it'll travel as soon as you're taking that oar out of the water, so they're letting it do its job.
So on the left of your picture, it's the Dutch national crew, effectively under 23s. On the right of your picture, it's the crew from New York Athletic Club. They've never won an event at Henley Royal Regatta. It doesn't look like they're going to this year. There we see Veronique Meester, the 22-year-old. Behind her, Jinke Klevling. That was the stern pair combination of the under-23 four that finished third in last year's under-23 World Championships. Boy, have they stepped on. Caroline Florence come into that boat since, and the 19-year-old has made such a difference. Really added so much solidity. She rode at 7 in the Dutch 8 that finished second in the Europeans, Jess.
It's great to see these crews here in this new event at Henley, the women's four. And the standard this week has been phenomenal. Some of the best races I think I've seen at the regatta have been very tight, very racy. But this one here now looks like it's a dead cert for this Dutch national crew.
See the winds blowing them down the course to an ever faster margin. The Dutch set the quickest time, I think, yesterday in their semi-final. I think whatever happens, it will be the Dutch crew whose name goes in the fastest time record books. They are blowing away that American crew from New York Athletic Club. This is a margin and a half.
And that's a dark place to be. Behind at Henley, all you can see is the puddles from the crew next to you, and you've still got to race to that finish line.
And just for any young women watching this presentation, Jess, I mean, what can they take from looking at this performance of the Dutch four?
I think it shows that rowing is all about rhythm. It's about rhythm and being relaxed. And yes, it's an aggressive sport. We go flat out and we exhaust ourselves, but it's such a technical sport. And look at these girls. It looks like they're not trying. They'll be on the line. They'll be absolutely lungs burning. Legs are telling them to stop rowing, but they make it look so fluid. And that's through this washy water here at Henley. It's very classy. And look at how loose they are up top. Brilliant stuff here from this women's four.
So you heard it there from an Olympic silver medalist, Jess Eddy. If you want to row, have a look at this Dutch four. Watch the video of this race back. Try and reproduce that silky smoothness, that relaxation, that effortless poise. Holland take the women's fours. A fantastic performance from the Dutch crew. They are delighted. Caroline Florence, arms in the air,
shaking her hands.
The crew from New York Athletic Club never really in the race after that steering upset early on. 21-year-old Elizabeth Beers shakes her fist in the air. Thumbs up.